I don't plan on supporting the resolution, I think, because it doesn't allow for the option eventually, if we needed to cover it up through painting it over. I feel I can't support it. But I do, before we vote, I wanted to read into the record an email that we received today from a former student of Washington High, because it says more eloquently than I could ever what this is really about. I went to George Washington High School. I also attended Presidio Middle School in Alamo Elementary. I grew up in San Francisco from age 5. I remember feeling different from every other person, every other child. I did not grow up looking at other students, seeing my facial features or skin color or eyes reflected back at me. Yes, I was bullied, even from some adults who didn't like the way I looked, and they treated me like I didn't belong, like I couldn't hear their words or see the annoying expressions when I was around. Many Native Americans know that look, except I didn't have anyone to connect with, another friend who looked like me, who could listen and understand, and I was embarrassed that I was singled out and treated this way, so I kept those experiences to myself. Attending George Washington High School, I didn't like the mural. I did my best to pretend it wasn't there, or to pretend that the dead Indian was possibly the only other person who could relate to the loneliness I felt being Native in SF. He and I were alone in these school walls. Does anyone remember what it was like to be the odd one out at school, or the quiet kid, the nerd, the one everyone ignored in the hallways, the one whose voice was never heard even when you did talk? That was me. I've debated to even reply to this controversial issue. Yes, I respect art, but I respect a human life more, a person's feelings more, because they are here now. Of course, I would like the mural to be moved to a museum where it should have been in the first place. And the artist spent hours, days, really, months really, working on the mural, but maybe it should never have been painted in the school in the first place. Why didn't they have a conversation and get opinions about putting this mural in a high school in the first place? Why didn't anyone ask African Americans or Native Americans if they were offended by the art before it was painted on these walls? Because no one cared about how we felt. That in itself is a sign of disrespect to us. They could care less about how we feel about dead images of our people. And now, some people who may not even attend George Washington High School want to shut my voice down again. They want to tell me again that my opinion doesn't matter, that my heart, spirit, mind, or feelings do not matter, because that is what each person is telling me now, that the art itself matters more than what I am feeling and voicing now. I haven't gone back to George Washington High School, even though my parents live a few blocks away. To me, those walls are walls that kept me in an institution where I did not feel I belonged, where I was a prisoner, where I wasn't even welcome, where I was different, where I wasn't alive. I was almost as dead as that Indian on the wall. I don't think I am the only one who feels this way. I couldn't take the isolation anymore, so I left the school in search of finding myself. I get angry when people try to say it's history or save it for art's sake. My ancestors were killed and punished, and my family is still hurting from the effects of our story. So it's not the past for me or my family. It's a reality we are still trying to overcome. And that starts with me voicing my opinion, sharing my ideas and feelings, reaching out to people who I pray will listen and understand. But at least this time, I am brave enough to speak out. The mural does not belong in a school. We need to allow our ancestors to rest, our present youth to move on so they can build and create their own paths. We must allow them to be free of negative images and begin again. With every end, there's a beginning. I hope that my voice will be heard and respected, just as much as Danny Glover's or any other political person. All our voices are equal. Please let us try to empathize and hear our call. Thank you.